Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Michelle. Thank you for being here with us. Today, I have a very packed video for you. I have all kinds of ideas that I've written down over the last couple of days of things that I want to show you. And it's just basically things that I'm doing around here that I'm going to take you along with me. I hope to get to all of these things in this video. It's quite a lot. So I want to inventory my seeds for my garden. So I usually start my seedlings in February, which means I have to put a seed order in now in order to get them in time. I start things like onions, flowers, herbs, things that take a little bit longer to grow early so that when it's time to plant them into the garden, they're already starting to grow, and it just accentuates my growing season a little bit quicker as opposed to just putting seeds in the ground. Because we live in British Columbia, Canada, we have a very short growing season. I think it's called Zone 4A, if I'm not mistaken. So we only have a few months to grow things outdoors here, and it's always good to get a head start on that. I want to talk to you guys and get your advice of what you think I should grow this year. I have some ideas of things that I don't want to grow, or that just don't work out here, or that I didn't have a lot of luck with, or that I just grew way too much of and didn't consume last year. So I want to go through that. What works, what doesn't. Some things I have really, really good luck with, and some things I've tried to grow every year and they just don't work. I want to show you what I grow in the winter. So our big plan, most of you know, is that we want to be able to grow food all year round. So we're in the process of building our massive geothermal rammed earth greenhouse, which we will finish this year in 2025. I just can't stop growing. So I've discovered how to grow microgreens inside with my grow lights and my seed trays that I use for starting my seedlings. And I've had really good success with that. I grow them both for us to consume in our meals. They look fantastic on dishes. So you can literally make the simplest pasta dish and throw some microgreens on top, and you got yourself like a chef kiss gourmet meal. They are extremely good for you, and they literally grow in less than a week. You can put the seeds in your seed trays, heat pad, some lights, and you're going to have microgreens within a week that you can cut and eat. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I've got some that I want to start, and then I have some that are ready to be harvested. I'm going to take you outside and show you a little trick with my chickens for the winter. Because we have a larger flock right now, I'm not heating the coop. We have an insulated coop, and that seems to do the trick. Years past, I did heat my coop because I had between 5 and 8 chickens, and it just wasn't enough to keep the coop warm at night. Chickens exude a lot of heat, and they're better in numbers when it comes to cold temperatures. We're sitting at around minus 20 degrees Celsius at night right now. I haven't been heating the coop, and they've been keeping it at least 5 degrees warmer than it is outside, which is awesome. So I'm going to show you a little super cheap, super easy, and healthy way to keep them warmer or help them generate that heat while they're sleeping. I'm going to show you a little trick about washing my eggs. So there's always the big debate about washing your farm eggs. Eggs that you get from the grocery store are already pre-washed, and most of them, to be honest, are usually over 100 days since they've been laid. When chicken lays their egg, they have a protective coat that comes out. So most people haven't seen an actual egg coming out of a chicken, but the egg comes out and you will see this coating, like it's almost like, I don't even know how to describe it, like a clear coating that surrounds the egg, and it's called a bloom, and it's a naturally occurring thing that chickens do. And what it does is it protects the egg. It protects the egg from any outside bacteria or anything getting into it. So eggs that are laid by a chicken and not washed, so that bloom isn't washed off, they are shelf stable for I'd say at least 3 weeks, if not more. Anyone who lives in Europe or Australia, they know this already. They don't refrigerate their eggs there. Yeah, it's we don't either, but I do have to wash some of my eggs, and I'm going to show you why I have to do that. So that will be really, really fun. But yeah, I guess I've got these orders to do. I just realized that my mixer's been going in the background this entire time while I've been talking, which is not going to be fun for me to edit in audio. So sorry about that. I've been getting orders like crazy from natural body care products. So I've been shipping those out. I have these fancy new boxes that James helped me find on Amazon. They're the perfect size to ship one little jar of tallow, and a few other, some bath bombs would fit in there too. The first couple of orders that I sent out, and if you're one of these people that's going to be getting these orders, I apologize. I literally had to use recycled boxes and stuff that we had around the house for these makeshift boxes. So they're going to be really fun for you to get. We've got some oatmeal boxes out there, and we've got some raisin boxes out there. So if you get one of those, know that it's not my best work, but it's what I had, and I wanted to make sure that everything got to you really, really safe, and I really hope that you enjoy the products. I'll link the website in the comments below and in the description, and have a peek and see if you want to order some products from me. I've been really, really happy with all of the support that I've been getting from everybody watching our channel, so thank you so much. And yeah, I guess we'll just jump into, what should we do first? We'll look at the seeds, and then we'll do a quick little seed order. I'll show you who I ordered my seeds from. I have my little helper here. This is Charlotte, in case you guys haven't met her yet. She's the sweetest little princess. Okay. Seed box. This is one of my favorite things that I kept from my old consignment store. It's a vintage hat box. People used to transport their hats in these beautiful boxes when they were traveling by train, I'm assuming. Okay, so I have literally no idea what's in here, what we're working with. You guys are going to come along on this journey with me together. I did have it organized at one point. Okay, so these are all my tomatoes. They're a lot. I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't need to order any more tomatoes right now. Cherry tomatoes, pear, grape. Okay, here's a perfect example of something I had zero luck with last year. I planted these. So what I did last year is I thought I had all my stuff together, and I decided when I started my seedlings that I didn't need to label what any of them were, but I know that I planted these Amish paste tomatoes, and I plant them because they're awesome for canning and sauces, and I didn't get a single Amish paste tomato. So I don't know if it's the region that I'm in or not, but definitely we're going to put that one aside because we don't want those. James loves these heirloom tomatoes. I hope that soon works. So we're going to definitely probably have to order a few more of those. And beefsteak. Beefsteak too. Beefsteak's a hard one for me to grow in my region as well because the amount of time that I have. So didn't have a ton of luck with that. These celebrity hybrids, just like regular tomatoes that you would put on a burger, they were pretty good. Didn't get super big. The Mountain Princess tomato, these were really good. They're small. They're like maybe the size of a golf ball, but they're really good, really tasty, perfect for sandwiches. Gin Fizz. Gin Fizz is one of my favorite tomatoes to grow. They are, how do I describe them? They're like the color of a peach, and they grow quite big, like the size of your hand, maybe a baseball size. And when you slice into them, these little veins of pink. So I've never, apparently this is, gin fizz is a reference to a type of a cocktail. I've never had gin fizz before. I would love to have a gin fizz. They are awesome tomatoes and they grow so well here. So definitely going to order more of those. So I'm going to start a little pile over here. We've got, this is what we're not going to have. This is what I need more of. So beef steaks and heirloom beef steaks. We need more gin fizz. I think, yeah, there's only 10 seeds in that one. We definitely don't need any more cherry tomatoes, plum and cherry. Mountain Magic F1 tomato. So that sounds like something that would do really well here. I can't remember right now, but when I go on their website, I will be able to look up a picture and see. So I'll put that in the probably need pile. Chocolate Sprinkles F1 cherry tomato. Bite size with gorgeous, unique coloration and delightfully sweet flavor. I don't remember growing these last year. The package is open and there's a few more seeds. So chocolate sprinkles, that sounds awesome. So we'll put that in there. So we already got that. Cherry tomatoes. These ones are cool. I think I had some of these Get Stuffed main season. So obviously I went with these ones just because of how they look. I think I remember those from last year. I'll put them in the order again pile. Oops, which is over here. Matt's Wild Cherry Tomatoes. Okay, these ones are awesome. They grow huge bushes. Like you can't even keep up with how bushy this tomato plant gets. And you get hundreds and thousands of these tiny little, they're almost like the size of a berry, like a Nanking cherry, if you're familiar with that. They're really small, but the problem is I grew them in my greenhouse this year and I didn't get a huge yield. I realized that my greenhouse isn't actually the best place to grow tomatoes. They grow way better in the outside garden. But when I grow these in the outside garden, the birds just feast on them. So I'm going to put them in the don't order again pile. Sunrise Bumblebee. Pretty sure I had good luck with that. Sunrise Bumblebee, I'm going to put that in the order again. And Black Cherry Tomato, I definitely had good luck with these ones. And I think there's still a few seeds in there. Yeah, there's a bunch. Okay, so the don't order. These are all the things I got to order on the website. I'm going to stick them over on my desk. Why am I not wearing my glasses? That's better. Okay, cucumbers. Cucumbers I grow really, really well here. Long English cucumbers, surprisingly, and the small, like little snappers. I've got Early Fortune. They look like they're kind of like got a bit of a rib. It's the early ones. So early, anything that's early, I don't really know why they call it that. I hope it's not GMO'd. This company does non-GMO and organic, but anyway, anything that's an early thing, if you've bought seeds before, I'm sure you've seen that. They work good here because again, this the growing season. Pickling cucumber. Okay, so I tried pickling my cucumbers last year, not last year, the year before, and I've tried fermenting my pickles. I didn't have a lot of luck. Okay, so first of all, with pickling, James just ate them, so there's no point really in pickling them. And then for the fermenting, I don't know that I had the proper brine. So I followed a recipe from a guy named Gaz Oakley on YouTube, and I didn't have any luck. But my dad came from a very staunch Ukrainian family, and they are all about pickling and fermenting, and like the 1 day ferment, the 3 day ferment, the 1 week ferment. I'll grow some of these and get my dad on the case. There's 2 packs of them. And then a national pickling cucumber. Okay, so obviously I had big ideas about pickling cucumbers. So we need, and I need a little piece of paper so I can write. We need a list of what we gotta buy. So cucumbers, not pickling. Okay, good. So there's all the pickling, guys. And so I'm not going to keep you guys here forever and ever. We're just going to go through the main things. Already did that. Peppers grow well. Okay. So with my peppers, the first 2 years, I did not have a lot of luck. I put them in my greenhouse, and my greenhouse, because it's glass, we have to have a shade cloth, and it just was not enough hot sun for the peppers. So what grew really well in there was jalapenos. Grew awesome in the greenhouse because I feel like they're kind of a bit of a weed, like they'll just grow anywhere. And you get so many on every plant. And then my chili peppers, they grew really well. I actually have some, I don't know if you can see it, but my pantry is right back there, and I strung them all. I was going to make hot sauce, but I didn't have the jars to put them in. But what I ended up doing was I strung all, like a Christmas ornament, all my peppers, my hot red peppers, cayennes, these ones, and dried them. And then what you do is, I wish I could show you right now. I was thinking about showing you guys this, but once you've dried them, you just you want to wear gloves or make sure you don't touch your face, because I've done that before. You just crumble them into a little mason jar, and then you have red pepper flakes. It's amazing. These California Wonders, they grow really well here. And yeah, I had awesome luck. So I started growing my peppers in, oh yeah, these ones are really nice too. I started growing my peppers outside in the sunniest part of my outside garden, and I got some really good yields considering how short our growing season is. But it was all about placement and how much sun they get. And I wasn't able to harvest them until later in the season, like towards the end of August. You have to let them grow, and many of them were green. I don't know if you know this about peppers, but all peppers, like bell peppers, they start out green, and then if you leave them on to ripen longer, they turn, if they're meant to be, the yellow and orange and red color. So I have, actually, I'm going to show you. Where are you? These are the peppers that I canned last year. I did 2 different ways. I did where I roasted them on a cookie sheet in the oven, and then I made a brine and water bathed them. James is calling. Hey, babe.
Hey, I should be about 15 minutes. I'm just dropping off scaffolding at off. Just heading over there, and then I'll head back home.
Okay, and you want breakfast?
Yeah, I'd love to. Are you in a rush?
Nope, I'm good. I'm just filming.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be 15-ish. So
Okay.
whatever happens, happens.
Okay, I just want to finish up this one bit.
Sounds good.
Okay, bye. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So these ones are roasted, and then I tried something new. I really want to learn how to cook everything on an open fire, like on the fire pit that we have outside. So I did another batch towards the end of the season of fire roasted and canned them in the same way. So this year, when I'm gardening and preserving, I will be taking you guys through the whole process of harvesting and how I do my canning and what I can. I also do pickled beets and peppers and tomato sauce and all kinds of fun things. So look forward to that. Anyway, so peppers, I'm going to say for peppers, we need more bell, because we've got tons of jalapeno. And if you're just a single person, or you and a hubby or a wife, or like a small family, and you don't eat a ton of hot peppers, but you want a jalapeno like to have, you honestly only need a couple of jalapeno and chili plants, because you'll get so many peppers on a plant. Don't plant too many of them. I did that last year. but then, like I said, I ended up stringing them and then I make my pepper flakes. So onions are something that I start early. And in one of my upcoming videos very soon, I'm going to be starting my seedlings and I'm going to show you that. So I'll just have a quick peek. I've got leeks and red onions. To be honest, I'll start what I have here. I've got some green onions, which we use a lot of around here. I'll start a few inside, but I usually just go and buy the bulbs. Is that what they're called? Like you buy a bag of just onions and then you can pop those in. I did that last year and I had really good luck with that again because of the slower growing season. So I'm not going to order any more. Broccoli and cauliflower, I grow really well here. Broccoli, I love growing broccoli, but again, you have to start it early, which is fine. It would be smarter for me to succession plant my broccoli because what ends up happening is I start like 8 broccolis and each plant is 1 head of broccoli. Now you can chop that head off, harvest it, and then more will grow, but I don't have a long enough growing season. So what ends up happening is all my broccoli, I plant it all in a big row in my garden outside, and after starting it inside, so they're little seedlings, and I end up with 12 heads of broccoli all at the same time. This year I froze a bunch and tonight I'm making a broccoli cheddar soup for dinner with that broccoli. So it's really nice to be able to have that. I need to figure out a better way to succession plant the broccoli and the cauliflower. So yeah, we'll do, it looks like we've got more than enough of that. We don't need to order those. Radish, these grow really well. They're a cold, cooler temperature. So you want to start these, you can grow them really nice early in the spring and then later in the fall. And I can grow these really, really well in my greenhouse. They don't need that hot sun. Oh, turnips. Is that what that is? Oh, parsnips. Ugh, I grew these. Not a fan. They're like tasteless carrots as far as I'm concerned. So let's tuck those away. Those we already did. Cabbage. Okay, I've been trying to grow cabbage. I had luck with, I need to start these early. I need to start these when I start my seedlings in a couple of weeks. That's what I need to do. Because the only luck that I had with cabbage was ones that I bought at the garden center that were already started. If I start them from seed, there's just not enough time. What's in here? Oh yeah, so all my squashes. This is a big mess. So we got spaghetti squash, which I love growing. It grows really, really well here. James put that arch thing across my walkway and they hang down. They look really cool. And then we've got butternut squash. So last year what happened was I didn't start these indoors, which I usually do. I waited until what was supposed to be our last frost date, which is our May long weekend, which is usually around the 20th of May. Hey, Ned. And I did like a huge portion of my garden just popping the seeds in. And we got like 2 more hard frosts after that. So I ended up having to reseed, like long story short, I ended up having to reseed my squashes like 5 different times. So I'm definitely going to start these, but they don't need to be started early. They need to be started like in March at the earliest, I think. Pumpkins, yeah, butternut, spaghetti, pumpkins, all those lovely squashes. They're so nice too. And you know what? I still have some butternut squash in my cold room and like they last forever. Like you can store them and you'll still have some by the time you're planting them again the next year. Beans. Okay. Seriously, people love to buy, they're always asking for beans at my veggie stand. I'm not going to grow them. I'm not going to grow them. And to be honest, I thought I liked them to eat, but no more beans. Sorry. The others, and that's because there's nothing here. That's how I need to know. Oh, last year, okay, last year I grew eggplant and I was so determined to grow eggplant and I grew them interplanting with my peppers in that nice sunny spot that I talked about in my garden. I grew like 3 different varieties of eggplant, like an Asian little beautiful purple and white round one, these long ones, and then your like typical big eggplant. I don't like eggplant. I don't know how to cook it. I don't like how it tastes. And they don't keep. Like as soon as you pick them off, they're maybe a couple of days, and nobody bought them at my farm stand. So with the eggplant, turnips. These purple top ones I don't really like, but there's another variety called a Tokyo turnip. Um, they grow really well. Again, it's early in the season when it's cooler and then later. They are kind of like you can eat the tops of them too. They're really good for you. They taste like they're crunchy like an apple and they taste a bit radish like. So James really likes them. So Tokyo turnip. He'll be asking me for sure. Oh yeah, I was supposed to make him breakfast. Okay, and then last, I don't have anything here, but we definitely need to get herbs and leafy greens. So all arugula, all the different kinds of lettuces, mustard greens, herbs we're gonna go basil, oregano, sage, like all the culinary herbs, those are all gonna be ordered. I love growing leafy green spinach. Spinach again, you have to start early, and same with arugula, it goes to seed. Oh, I can't even think right now, but they're some of my favorite things to grow. Lettuce, I move over. It gets a little bit too hot in the greenhouse, not sun hot, but temperature hot. So I move my lettuces. I start them in the greenhouse in the spring, and then I move them out to the garden in a cooler, like shadier spot behind some big tomato plants or something later in the season, and I just keep planting lettuce, and I sell it like crazy. People are always looking for big bags of lettuce for salads and stuff like that in the at the veggie stand. So okay, I'm gonna make James breakfast and then I'm gonna go and show you which site I use to buy my seeds and sort of how it works and put my order in, and we'll keep on going. I need a friend. You want to say hi to YouTube? You gonna sit there? Okay. So while we're on the topic of eggs, I'm going to show you what I mean about some that I have to wash and some that I just leave on the counter to utilize that bloom that the chickens so graciously provide us. So my chickens, and I think this is a pretty common problem, they all like one particular nesting box. We have 5 nesting boxes, and I'll go in there and I'll find sometimes 3 chickens inside the one nesting box trying to lay an egg in the one. So what ends up happening is eggs get broken. So there'll be a little clutch of eggs, like 5 or 6 that they had laid, and then one of the chickens will crack an egg, and they love eating it, and it's totally fine. It's actually super healthy for them. But it makes a huge mess inside the nesting box, and we end up with eggs that look like this. So that's just yolk on the outside, and some other crap that got stuck to it. So those I like to wash and then refrigerate. Another problem, and this might be kind of gross for some people, is sometimes they have a dirty bum. So you'll get little pieces of feces, and if you don't wash this off, you are running into the potential of contaminating your eggs and getting salmonella, which, if you ever have had salmonella, it's the absolute worst. I had it in Mexico and I thought I was going to die. So what I do is I just keep my eggs for a while, and then any that are really dirty like this, I will wash, and then I put them into my handy dandy cartons, and then once they've been washed, they have to be refrigerated because that bloom will be washed off and there won't be any way to keep them protected from outside bacteria entering into the egg. If you ever have one in your nesting box that's been pecked or cracked a little bit, I usually take those out and I'll feed them to the dogs right away. Because again, you've broken the seal, the bloom, the seal on that, and they won't be safe on the shelf. They'll need to be refrigerated. But yeah, so here is my fancy bowl of eggs that I am going to clean up and wash. Next time on the Thai Life. This is my microgreens setup. These I actually grow for the chickens. All right, so we're ready to start my seed order. This is like Christmas for me, by the way. My secret is